Namaste and welcome to yoga. My name is Kirsten. We're going to start seated today. So bring the legs to a crossed-legged position or whatever's comfortable for you. Start to allow the eyes to close or soften the gaze down past the nose. And just start to tune into sitting here, just really noticing your breath coming in and out of your nose. And notice the presence of being here. So notice what it feels like to sit on your seat. Notice a place where your seat comes in contact with the floor. Notice the feel of your clothes against your skin. Notice the feel of the air in the room around you. And turn your attention to sound. So focus on a very far away or quiet sound. What is the quietest sound you can hear? And then move to closer sounds. What is the loudest or the nearest by sound you can hear? You would bring your attention back to your breath, noticing the inhale and the exhale. Now you can flutter your eyes open or they can remain closed if you prefer. Drop your chin to your chest. Roll the left ear to the left shoulder. Very slowly nod your head like you're saying yes. Then shake your head like you're saying no. Roll the chin back down to the chest. And right ear to right shoulder. Nod the head yes. And shake the head no. Roll the chin back down to the center. And come up to a neutral spine. We can allow the eyes to open now if they weren't already. And bring our legs into a wide stance. So if you're sitting on a blanket, you might want to move it out of the way. And bring the legs nice and wide into a V. Sorry, Gilly. Just disturbed the dog. If this is uncomfortable on the knees, if the legs don't want to straighten today, grab a blanket or a pillow, kind of roll it up into a nice solid cushion. You can bring that under the knee, or if that's not enough, just slide it up the thigh towards the body until it feels comfortable. So bring the legs nice and wide. And start to walk the hands forward along the floor, dropping the nose down toward the floor in front of you. We're still warming up, so it is completely normal to feel stiff and sore. Well, stiff anyway. My legs happen to be sore today, so that just came out. And if you are, just take some nice deep breaths, sending the nourishing inhale into any places that feel especially tight. And on the exhale, allow those places to relax and release tension. Now walk the hands over toward the left leg, dropping the nose toward the knee. Now rotate the torso to face the front of the room. Bring the right arm up overhead for a side stretch. Bring the hands back down to the floor. Walk over to the right leg, nose to knee. And rotate the body into a side stretch. Drop the hands, walk back to the center. One last forward fold. And come back up to a seat. Make your way into a tabletop on hands and knees. All right, we'll do a little bit of cat and cow stretching. So round the back, dropping the crown of the head and the tailbone toward the floor. Cat. And then arch the back, dropping the belly, raising the tailbone and the crown of the head toward the ceiling. Cow. Round the back, cat. And exhale. Arch the back, cow. Inhale. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And do 3 more rounds following your own breath. And come back to a neutral spine tabletop. Good, now raise the right arm up in the air, shifting the weight into the left hand, look up toward the ceiling. And now bring the right arm underneath the left armpit, thread the needle, coming to rest on your right shoulder, right side of the head. You can stay here or maybe reach the left arm up toward the top of the mat. Another option for the arm is to bring the hand to rest on the low back. Bring that left hand back to the mat right in front of the face and use it to press back up to a tabletop. Good, other side, so shifting the weight into the right hand, lift the left arm up in the air. And thread the needle. Once again, you can slide the hand up to the top of the mat. Or rest it on the low back. Bring the hand back to the mat in front of your face and press up to tabletop. Now, walk the knees as wide as the mat. Bring the big toes together. Shift the hips back. Walk the hands forward and drop the forehead to the mat for child pose. Press back up to tabletop. Bring the knees to hip width apart. Really dig the fingertips into the mat. So bring a lot of pressure into the fingertips. That'll help release pressure from the wrists. Tuck the toes and lift the weight up, lifting the hips up toward the ceiling. Come into downward facing dog. And bend one knee and straighten the other. Pedaling the feet, giving the backs of the legs a chance to wake up, a little extra stretch, movement. Come back to stillness when you're ready. Again, digging the fingertips into the ground, pressure out of the wrists, pressing weight into the heels. Take a deep breath in through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. One more in through the nose and sigh it out. Good. Drop the knees back down to the mat, tabletop. Walk the knees wide, toes together, hips back, and child pose. Come back up to tabletop, knees to hip width, tuck the toes under, and this time sit back on the heels. So nice stretch in the backs of the toes, the bottoms of the feet. If you need to reach back and tuck the baby toes under, just make sure all 10 toes are nice and tucked under. Good stretch through the fascia of the feet. And while we're doing that, bring the arms nice and wide. Cross the left arm over and stretch that left shoulder. Good, release. And switch sides, cross the right arm over, stretching that right shoulder. Good, and release the arms, release the toes, maybe wiggle the toes a little bit, bring some life back into them. If they're a little bit overstretched, it's good for them though, I promise. And then we're going to make our way to sit on the mat. So bring your legs back to almost a cross-legged position, but we're going to bring the right foot in front of the left. So instead of crossed, it's like one in front of the other. And walk your hands forward along the floor, coming into a cross-legged forward fold. Walk the hands toward you, come back to a seat. And now gently twist over the right shoulder, crossing the left arm over the right knee. Inhale, growing the crown of the head tall toward the ceiling. And exhale, relax into the twist. And come back to face front and switch feet. Put the left foot in front of the right. Walk the hands forward, dropping the nose toward the toes. Come back up to a seat and twist over the left shoulder. And come back to face the front of the room. Bring the hands together, palms touching at heart center, Anjali Mudra. Allow the eyes to close. Anjali Mudra helps balance the emotions, balancing the left and right hemispheres of the brain, bringing some peace to the mind. Tune in once again to the feeling of sitting here. Notice what you notice. Notice what you can feel. Notice what you can hear. Notice the breath. And release the hands. Make your way up to stand on the mat. All right, so standing in mountain posture, feet are about hip width apart on the mat. Give the shoulders a couple of rolls, opening the fronts of the shoulders, open the palms to the front of the room. Now rock forward and back on the feet, shifting the weight from the balls of the feet and toes back to the heels. Really working through those soles of the feet. Oops. Good, and then come to stillness, really noticing the weight being equal between the left and right foot, equal weight in the balls of the feet and the heels. The toes are nice and strong, helping with balance. Standing in mountain posture feels like a very familiar pose. It's just standing, but there's so much more we can bring into it. So noticing the balance on the feet, noticing the shoulders opening, the palms opening to the front of the room. The crown of the head grows nice and tall toward the ceiling, bringing length into the spine. And draw the navel in toward the spine, providing support in the core. Nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. One more inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Good. Lift the arms up overhead on the next inhale. And exhale, drop the hands by the sides. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, drop the arms. Inhale, arms up. Now this time clasp the hands and pull apart as if you're trying to pull the hands apart, but that clasped hand is not allowing it. And you'll notice some strength coming into the shoulder area. If it's too strong, just let go of that tension a little bit. And notice the strength in the back, so the shoulder blades. Good, let go of the hands and release the arms by the sides. Next inhale, bring the arms up overhead. And link the hands the opposite direction, opposite one in front, and gently pull the hands apart. Feeling the shoulder blades squeeze together along the spine. Good, and release the arms. Coming into a chair position, so sit back as if you're sitting into a chair. Arms can come forward for balance, or arms can come to rest on the hips. Good. Now straighten the legs and start to hinge forward at the hips, bringing the hands to rest on the legs. About a half forward fold, flat back, parallel with the floor. And from here, we'll do a little bit of cat and cow-like stretching. So round the back for cat, and arch the spine, look forward for cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And one more, cat. And cow. And bend the knees, bring the arms up, come back into chair. And straighten the legs, drop the arms, release. Good. Taking a big step back with the right foot, we'll move into a lunge. So back foot is on the ball of the foot, on the toes. Swoop the arms forward and up if that's comfortable on the shoulders. If not, again, the hands can come to the hips. And you can straighten and bend that front knee a little bit, feeling into this lunge. Notice where it feels like you're getting a stretch. Notice your balance. Good, and bend that knee, come to stillness. Good, now if the arms are overhead, that's fine. So go ahead and bring them to the hips. Leave the left hand on the hip, reach the right arm up and over for a side stretch. Good, release the hand and step that right foot forward. Good, step the left foot back. Lunge on the other side. Once again, you can bend and straighten the front leg. And come to stillness in this lunge. Bring the hands to the hips. Leave the right hand there. And stretch the left arm up and over, side stretch. Good, come back to lunge and step the feet forward to hip width apart. Excellent. Now step back with the right foot again. This time we're going to bring the foot to about 90 degrees compared with the front foot. So the left foot is pointed towards the short edge of the mat. The right foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat. Legs straight. Arms come to reach forward and back of the room. Good, and from here we're just going to hinge at the waist. Come into a triangle pose, so the left hand rests gently on the left shin, right arm reaches up toward the ceiling, gaze up toward the ceiling if that's comfortable, or straight ahead. Make sure there's a micro bend actually in the front leg, so it might look straight or feel straight, but just a tiny little bend so we're not overextending the knee. Gonna bend the front leg. You can rest the left arm gently on the left thigh and bring the right arm into a big circle all the way down and forward and back up. So we've got a long straight line now from the fingertips to the right foot, side angle pose. Bring that arm round and down and step the right foot forward to meet the left. Other side. So you can step back with the left foot, straight legs, arms come forward and back of the room, really reaching a long line of energy all the way from the left fingertips to the right fingertips. And rotating, hinging at the waist, we'll kind of windmill ourselves down into triangle pose. Notice if one side feels a little different than the other. That is normal. Just notice what you notice. Good. Bend the front knee, rest the right arm gently on the right thigh, and swoop the left arm all the way in a big circle down and around and back, forward, reaching, long line from the left fingertips to the left foot, side angle. Good. Bring that arm all the way back down, straighten the legs. Stay here with the legs nice and wide for just a moment. Bring the arms wide. Star pose. Really take up space, feel powerful. Good. And release the arms and walk the feet back together. Nice job. All right. Stepping to the front edge of the mat again, if you had rotated with me, we're going to bring weight into the left leg and step the right foot back behind, just kind of resting weight on the big toe, so the right foot is really there for balance. Swoop the arms behind you like airplane wings and start to hinge at the waist. Coming into Warrior 3. If you'd like to bring that right foot off the floor and find a balance, that's fine, or keep that big toe down for support. Really squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good, and drop the right foot if it was up, and come back to stand mountain pose. Nice deep breath in through the nose, and side out the mouth. One more in through the nose, and out in a big sigh. Good. Other side, so shift the weight to the right foot, left foot comes behind for support. Airplane arms. And hinge forward. Again, you can leave the left toe on the floor or start to raise the left foot up. May stumble a little bit, that's fine. This is normal. This is part of finding our balance. So we're turning on a lot of muscles that we might not use all the time, and that can cause some instability, but just Let the wobbling happen, recenter, rebalance, find what you've got today. And when you're ready, come back up to stand on both feet, mountain pose. Big inhale through the nose and sigh it out. One more in through the nose and out. All right, drop the chin to the chest. And we're going to slowly roll the spine into a forward fold here. So very slowly, one vertebra at a time. Imagine that you're rolling down. Nice and slow. Allowing the arms to hang and be heavy. And stop wherever it feels comfortable. Really allowing the arms to be at the mercy of gravity. No gripping or holding. Hanging like a rag doll. Good. Now just as slowly we'll roll the spine one vertebra at a time to come back up to stand. Head is the very last thing to come up. Wonderful. We'll go into a tree balance. So shift the weight into your left foot. You can kickstand the right, turning the toes out, heel in. Bring the hands together at heart center for Anjali Mudra. Or there are some other arm positions. You can bring the arms out to a T if that feels better. Or up overhead like tree branches. Or even Anjali Mudra overhead. So lots of choices for our hand position. And then for balance, if you'd like to stay here with the foot kickstanded, that's fine. Or you can start to bring the foot up the leg, finding a place where it's comfortable, where the right leg is bending comfortably and able to stay put. And keep breathing. Find an unmoving point of focus, a drishti, to look at. Keep breathing. Go and release the hands, release the foot, and we'll switch sides. So weight into the right foot, kickstand the left. Maybe try a different arm position this time. See how that feels. Start to come into a balance if you'd like. Avoiding putting pressure right on the knee. So if you're close to the knee, maybe put the foot right under or right over, but not pressing into the knee joint because our knees don't move sideways. So be gentle with yourself. Notice if one side has a different type of balance than the other. It's quite often for one side to be more wobbly and one side to be a little bit more sturdy. Just notice that difference. And release the arms, release the feet. Come back to our mountain pose, so feet about hip width apart. Give those shoulders a couple of good rolls to really open up the front of the shoulders, front of the heart center. Palms come to face front, nice and still. Rock back and forth on the feet, noticing that equal weight into both feet, equal weight into the toes, balls of the feet and the heels. Go ahead and come to stillness. Draw the belly button in toward the spine. Crown of the head grows tall. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Deep inhale through the nose. And a long, slow exhale through the nose. Take a moment here to notice the sensation of standing on the floor. Notice the sensation of the air in the room around you. Notice your body feeling strong, but at the same time relaxed. So find a balance between effort and ease. Just follow the breath with the mind noticing the inhale and the exhale. Inhale and exhale. And 5 more breaths as we stand. Good, you can allow the eyes to come open if they were closed. And start to bend the knees. We're going to go all the way down into a squat. So you can really sit back, come up onto the toes. If you can move all the way down into a squat, resting or balancing, I should say, on the toes, on the balls of the feet. Bring the hands to the floor if that helps with balance, or resting on the knees. Maybe bring the hands together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. And take a few deep inhales and exhales here, noticing this shift in position, maybe from walking around and being upright to coming down onto the floor. Good. Plant the hands on the floor and we'll sit back onto our seat. Bring both knees to the left, and then we'll windshield wiper them back and forth, so nice and slow. Shift them over to the right, and then over to the left, and right, and left, and just a few more times. Really opening up the hips, giving the legs a little bit of attention and love. Good. Next time you come to the left side, you can just pause there. Bring the left hand to the mat. Shift the weight onto the left knee and straighten the right leg along the mat. Bring the right arm overhead. A gate pose. Nice long stretch along the right side of the body. Nice deep inhales and exhales through the nose. Good. Drop the right hand to the floor for support and sit back on that left hip. Now keeping both knees faced toward the left, we'll move into a deer pose. So turn to face the left knee and start to walk the hands along the floor, dropping the nose toward the floor. Maybe rest the forehead all the way down on the hands. If that's comfortable, maybe grab a rolled up blanket if you need a little extra support to rest the forehead on. Or maybe leaning forward doesn't feel good at all and you just want to stay upright, and that's fine too. Just kind of twist and turn towards the left knee. So find a good position. We're going to stay in this deer pose for about 10 rounds of breath, really giving a chance to relax into it. And use the hands to press back up. And windshield wiper the legs back and forth. And next time you come over to the right side, we'll pause there. Bring the right hand to the mat. Bring the weight up onto the right knee. Straighten the left leg and gate pose. Good, come back down to a seat, keeping both knees to the right, and deer pose on the right. So find a comfortable position for the head and 10 rounds of breath. Press back up to a seat. And windshield wiper the feet or the legs one more time. Balance out both sides. And come to lie back on the mat. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees nice and wide, reclined butterfly position. If this is too strong on the knees, just bring the feet away from the body a little bit. And if it's too strong on the hips, you can bring support underneath the hips. So rolled up blanket or cushion, tuck it right up under that hip for support, and you can put one on either side. So get really comfortable in this position. We're going to be here for a couple of minutes. Bring one hand to rest on the belly and the other hand to rest on the heart. And just start by noticing the inhale and exhale. Notice the chest and the body rise with the inhale and fall with the exhale. Relax the belly, relax the shoulders, relax the hips, soften the muscles of the face. Send yourself thoughts of love and compassion. Say, I am strong. I am brave. I take care of myself. I love myself. You can release the hands from the heart and the belly. Use the hands to press the knees up, giving a little support to those hips. And walk the feet as wide as the mat. Keep the knees knocked together, constructive rest. Just a little counter pose for a moment, giving the hips a chance to relax. Now we'll do an inversion, so legs up the wall. If you don't have a wall handy, you can try this. Just straighten the legs up toward the ceiling as if you're standing on the ceiling. Maybe shift the weight back and forth, feeling the low back press into the floor, standing like posture. If this is not comfortable, if they don't want to stay up, you can kind of shift over to be up against a wall. I don't have a great way to demonstrate it, but I'll kind of show you off my mat here. So just scoot over to a wall, or even the side of a couch or a big chair, and bring your feet up the wall, or if you've got a chair, maybe they rest in a 90-degree angle on the seat of the chair. So you can get really creative with this. But find a good spot to bring the legs over the heart is the goal here. So this inversion helps to relieve any swelling you might have in your ankles and your feet, your legs, help to encourage circulation back down into the torso area. And we'll stay here. You can rest your hands on your belly, or one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart, or bring the hands by your sides. And we'll rest right here with legs up for our Shavasana today. Again, relax the muscles of the face. Relax the shoulders. Feel the breath coming in and out of the body. Taking good care of yourself. Embracing this time of self-nourishment and healthy habit. We'll stay in stillness, listen to the music, listen to your breath until it's time to move out of this pose. It's starting to deepen the inhale and lengthen the exhale. Bring awareness back into the room. Bend your legs if they were straight, just kind of resting the feet on the wall. Feeling a slightly different position. Good, and roll over to one side or the other. Just pausing on your side for a moment. And then press up to a seat. Take your time coming into a comfortable seated position. Hands together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. One more inhale. And exhale. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Be well, everybody. Namaste.